Hello, this is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a marvelous day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your thumbs up, for your comments, and thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. Well, this is the rapper Akon. He is an African immigrant to the United States, and he has built a lucrative career for himself as a rapper. He recently made a statement in an interview, and it infuriated a lot of African Americans in the rap business. But I'm glad he said what he said. He spoke the truth, and now everybody's mad. But as far as I'm concerned, it's needed to be said and should have been said long before now. And it should have been said by an African American. And I think some African Americans have said it or tried to speak on this, but it's so hard to get through the ignorance of some of these black people in some of these industries. So it takes somebody like him who will just come out and say it, and then everybody jumps on him for saying it. But as they say, he spoke a drunk tongue speaks a sober truth. I don't think he was drunk. I think that he has made the observation that many of us have made, and he decided to speak on it. He had the courage to speak on it, and I'm glad he did. He made a simple observation. He said African performers have better stage presence than African American performers. And then he went on to say, we're a little different when it comes to stage presence. And he went on to describe American performers as wobbling, pants hanging half down, bored as hell, half asleep, because they high as hell on stage. And he says that African performers don't have those issues. I would probably beg to differ with that, because he probably spends more time in the United States than he does in Africa, and he has an idealized, maybe even a romanticized idea of Africa. But I can assure you that whatever is going on everywhere else is going on in Africa too, and probably twice as much. But if they have any stage presence at all, if they're coming on the stage showing any respect for their culture and their audience at all, at this point, they're probably doing better than the American performers. And so I'm sure he's right about some of this. And I think there's probably a difference in how we view stage presence. When African Americans think of stage presence, I think we think of the excitement of Michael Jackson or Beyonce or Usher, or way back in the day of Sammy Davis Jr. They had stage presence plus. It was the costumes, the performance, the dancing, the talent of the singing, the genius of it all. And make no mistake about it, Africans don't have anything that can compare with what we call stage presence. Because if they did, we would have heard about it. I think what he seems to be talking about is just general presentation of what you look like when you come on stage. And if you look like crap, because I think that's what he's talking about. And I believe he's right about that. And I am extremely disappointed in the direction that African American music is going in. A few weeks ago, I did a video called The Day Black Music Died, and I was lamenting the negative downturn that Black American music has taken, mainly with people who really can't even sing, who are not connected to the culture, and who are just really up on stage because they look cute, or somebody said they were cute and gave them a microphone and told them to sing. And they in no way represent what black music should be about. Black music should be growing and improving. And if you can't make it better, at least don't make it worse. You should at least be able to do the minimum. And I don't think that most of them can even do the minimum of what an average singer of the 1970s or 80s could do. And what they're doing is driving the music further and further into the gutter, singing about very inappropriate things, exhibiting erotic, disgraceful, and vulgar behaviors on stage, and making a mockery of the music that was the gold standard of American music and global music, really. And it is very disturbing, it is very heartbreaking to see where black music has gone. We have come from being at the top of the game to being somewhere wherever the gutter is. That's where it is. Black Americans created stage presence. I could call the roll on that. When nobody even knew what they were doing in Africa, we had black American entertainers creating the music genres that dominate world music. They might be calling it something else, but pretty much it's a variation of something that African Americans created. And anytime I've ever seen any Africans trying to perform, they were doing something similar, looked like what they had copied from black American. But still, that doesn't mean that they don't have better stage presence, because what I hear him saying is that they respect the genre, they respect the game more than African Americans. Because we've got people now who will come on the stage and just say anything. If you are black American of a certain age, you can't even listen to some of this music. It's so vulgar. And if you try to watch an award show, it's so indecent. It's almost to the point of being disgraceful. And what is particularly insulting to me about how African American music is being handled these days is that music was one of the ways that we were able to get a foothold in America and started to gain some kind of recognition for genius. Music and then sports. And it took a while, and those early pioneers of music and sports were taken advantage of. They were taken advantage of. They were doing the work. It was just like the slave system all over again, but somebody else was getting the money. But they stayed with it and blazed that trail and made it into something, made both sports and music into something that we could be really proud of. And if somebody wants to come on here and challenge me, this is my opinion based on what I see. I know there are some good artists. But they are having a heck of a time being center stage. They've got garbage at the center of the stage. When you think about entertainers like Sammy Davis Jr., Josephine Baker was the first superstar. So don't talk to me about stage presence. And have you seen Patti LaBelle and Tina Turner in concert? We had James Brown, Lena Horne, Aretha Franklin, Bill Bojangles, Bo Diddley, Chuck Berry. I mean, we created stage presence. But now we've got a lot of immigrants, a lot of the people who are singing music now, we think they're African Americans because they look like us. They came here from some other place. And they've come here and they don't respect our culture. They don't have any manners. They get on the stage and just say anything. They give a press interview and they'll say anything. And nobody calls them on it. Nobody is gatekeeping our music and our culture. And let's look at who we should be comparing them to. We should be comparing them to African American entertainers of yesteryear. The ones that I've already showcased. They are the gold standard of what African American music and entertainment should be. And nobody should be able to come in here and change that. Motown framed its network around presentation, stage presence, of them moving right, talking right, dressing right, singing right. The charisma of Motown itself is enough that everybody who's going to sing black music should be required to take the Motown course. I don't know if there's a such thing as a Motown course, but they should be, because they specialized in stage presence. You're not going to just get up there on the stage and sing. You're going to look right. You're going to dress right. You're going to speak right. You're going to represent Motown. And in representing Motown, you are representing black American people. That should be required for anybody who considers themselves a serious African American or black American singer. The ones that blaze the trail to put black music where it is had to be impeccable in their manners and their mannerisms and their stage presence and their talent. I mean, they had the stage presence, They had the musical style, they had the talent, they had it all. That's how black music got where it is, by black Americans, not by Africans. Not by Africans. It is the same thing that I said about country music. Country music is headquartered in Nashville, and the people who control and manage country music, I believe they call them the Nashville Mafia. Well, we need an African American music mafia. We need somebody who will put their foot down and say, you don't do that with this music. This country music came out of the slave system. But white people have taken country music and made something out of it, and they handle it with care. They treat it with respect. But black people have decided that we don't have to be respectful. We can just get up here on stage and say anything. We can wear our clothes any kind of way because they're riding on the shoulders of the people that came before them. If what we have now was the beginning of black music, it would go absolutely nowhere. It would go nowhere because nobody would be interested in it. Nobody's buying, for the most part, nobody's buying this crappy music. It's garbage. It's garbage. And because they've lost respect for the art, they've lost respect for the industry. They let anybody come in and do anything and say anything. Half of them can't even sing. They don't know how to play any kind of musical instrument, and they don't have any stage presence. He's right about that. He spoke the truth, and now they're mad. I've been listening to video after video after video of black American men mostly talking about this guy, and then trying to go and find Africans who might be actually trying to build a career and trying to make fun of those Africans instead of listening to what this man says. You might not like him. He might not be the best messenger, but you need to listen to what he says. And some of these African American men who don't like what Akon said are going over social media looking for video clips of Africans who are trying to sing or who might be just doing it for recreation. They may not even be professionals. They're exposing them in their videos and trying to make fun of them and saying, oh, is that what you mean by stage presence? That's not the way to do it. Your adversary might give you some useful information. He's telling the truth. They are walking around here with their pants below their behinds, grabbing their crotch. When is that going to go out of style? And though I think it's fine for Akon to make the observation that African Americans don't present well on stage these days, there is no comparison between what African Americans are doing and have done in music and what Africans are doing and have done in music. And I'm talking about from an international standpoint. The music that we have loved as African Americans has been turned over to strangers, and they've ruined it. They have absolutely ruined it. And they might as well just call it what it is. A lot of these foreigners and a lot of African Americans who are really not that talented, they have ruined black music. And I think that it needs to be said. But this crap that they're pushing now is just disgraceful. And I am glad that somebody is saying something about it. And if people get mad about it, so be it. People paid a price to put African American music where it is. This does not just happen. Muddy Waters and Howlin' Wolf, those people came out of the Mississippi Delta and hardly made any money. But they put that music on the map. Now their music is considered classic. And these people are riding on the coattails of those masters from way back then who paid the price and blazed the trail to put the music where it is. So I'm glad somebody spoke out about it, and I hope other people will speak out about it, because it is a shame. It's shameful what's being passed off as black American music these days. So y'all let me know what you think about this. Thank you for listening. Subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, share the video, and as always, have a great day.